Steph, you walked off at halftime shaking your head. And then when the third quarter started, you kind of erupted. You had 8 quick points. Did you feel like this game could have been within your grasp tonight?
Feel like every game can be, but when the games are in the margins for us this year, I guess the common theme is, certain 3 to 4 minute windows we don't play with, um, just the right intentions, I should say, and when that happens, certain teams who can shoot the ball across the board, they hit 2 or 3 threes and can blow a game open. And, we kind of lose any type of momentum. And that happened towards the end of the third quarter and, that little 3-minute window in the fourth. So learning lessons for us. We know it's a roller coaster and it's been like that all year. But if we're going to be the team we need to be, it's just a matter of, again, learning those lessons in real time and trying to figure it out.
You mentioned the roller coaster. You guys haven't won or lost 3 in a row yet. Does that surprise you? Like, are you going into some of these games after winning 2 straight, like thinking you guys are getting in on a roll, or are you sensing that this type of team is kind of going to be a roller coaster?
No, we came in thinking this was a winnable game. Matter of the back-to-back and short turnaround. I mean, they're in the same situation, just obviously at home. Had a good energy coming off those 2 wins against Minnesota, even knowing that their record wasn't great. We played extremely well. So it is disappointing, but you always fall back to the big picture of what we're trying to do, and we're obviously not a consistent team by any stretch, but we do find ways to bounce back, and that's kept us from falling into some lonely times. So I think for us, have confidence in that, go home, get a win Saturday, and again, it's just getting educated as we go along. This season, it's interesting to say the least.
Stephen, do you feel for Kelly a little bit coming off a strong game last night, and then tonight he's trying to back it up again against his old teammates?
We feel for every teammate that is out there trying to figure it out and it doesn't play the way that they want to. We're all in this together. We have each other's back, and as high as the high was yesterday, you enjoy it, you celebrate it, but you stay even keeled because you have nights like tonight where it doesn't go your way. So it's tough. He was. I didn't talk to him before the game or during about that specifically about what it's like to play against his former team, but he probably wanted it really bad, and he'll get another shot at it. So it's just a matter of looking at the entire roster and understanding what we all can do better in those margins. Telling somebody is this year is weird because we've lost 9 games, we're 10-9, and probably 8 of those 9 are just getting blitzed. Like we have competitive runs, and then you look up and you're down 15-17, and that's just not. It's kind of deceiving, I think, in terms of we just getting our head beat in, and if we got to get to that point where we lose games and we give ourselves a chance down the stretch of, keep it close, keep it tight, play smarter on both ends of the floor. Whether you win or lose, you put yourself in a much better position to become a more consistent team, and that's where we have to get to if we're really trying to establish ourselves halfway through the season.
Hi, Steph. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. There's a lot of new stuff this year. I mean, no fans, new way to travel, new protocols, a lot of new. do you think the team has to try new things to get to that old level of consistency, or is it the other way around? Go back to basics.
I mean, we're trying new things all the time.
I mean in the routine on a day-to-day basis. I mean,
it's hard because there's no playbook for this. So, I mean, to answer your question, I think we're just figuring it out on the fly like everybody else. You get a new memo every day. You're in a different city with new schedules. You'd love to be in a normal situation, but that's just not the reality that we're living in. So you do have to figure out exactly. I was even talking to Draymond about like shoot arounds and stuff like that in the margins. I think it's everything's different. So I don't know what the right answer is on the day-to-day, but you do what you feel is right. Try to get yourself ready to go. Try to bounce back from a loss. Maintain momentum after a win, and all those decisions are just kind of on the fly because nobody's ever been through this before. So kind of just take it day to day.
Steph, Kendrick Andrews, NBC Sports Bay Area. I guess kind of following up on that with learning on the fly, with trying to find consistency, but not having as many practices, how much more challenging is it to do that in games when you're also preparing for different matchups while trying to just find some identity?
And it is difficult. It's certain things you I don't want to say take for granted, but you kind of can gloss over in terms of, just saying, okay, tonight we're going to, do X, Y, Z on the defensive end. And then the next night it might be a little different based on personnel. Like to your point, we're still learning the basics of, defensive principles, offensive play calls, certain reads that you can't just choreograph. It's kind of just have to have that second nature. So it is a lot, and it's a crash course for not just the rooks and the young guys, but for everybody to try to put it together, for all the guys that step foot on the floor every night. So that's the beauty of the season. When we get to the end, and we hopefully are where we're at, we'll have a new appreciation for nights like these and nights that we've had prior, and in the good games where, it's different than it has been, but it makes it all worth it.
How much are you following the state of the rest of the conference and how much of a logjam it kind of is right around where you guys are?
I look at it every day. I think we didn't play we lost the other day or didn't play, and we moved up, and it's all over the place. It's kind of a jumbled mix between 4 and 11 or 12, 4 and 10. So it's gives you a little bit of comfort knowing, you could put together hopefully 4-game win streak and shoot up the standings, but you got to be able to just focus on each game. For us that have been here, we can afford to kind of look big picture, but I think we all understand that it's really hard to win in this league right now, and you gotta show up every night.
Hello, Steph. Christos Chaldas from Greece. I would like to ask you, what was the biggest lesson of the tonight's game for your team? And what was the main issue that you would like to solve about your game?
It goes back to that point where it can be ugly, back-to-back schedule, all that. We were within 2 or 3 possessions in the third quarter, and weren't able to finish it down the stretch and keep it somewhat close and respectable so that you can go, win an ugly game on the road in the fourth quarter. And that's just, just thinking a little bit more in terms of what we're trying to accomplish in those little moments. So be a good film study.
Going back to the standings, what do you think about the Sixers and your brother on top in the East?
I don't even follow the East, but I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I knew they were playing well. I knew he was happy to have him be back from protocols and all that. I didn't even know that. So shout out to S.
Steph, considering how precarious you seem to think these games are sometimes, how the fourth quarter, especially knowing a game could get away from this team pretty quickly.
Say that last part again. You broke up a little bit.
Knowing that the game could get away quickly, like you said, it's like in the margins, a couple minutes of not playing the right way, the game could get away. Does that make that 6 minutes tougher to sit to start the fourth?
I got you. I know what he's talking about. Yeah, I mean, that is the balance of the big picture and trying to win every game, or not. We're trying to win every game, but to, have the feel of like, if it's coming back at 8 or 9 minutes or whatever it is, versus how I feel physically. Like, I obviously want to play as many minutes as possible and try to go and steal a game like tonight. But that's obviously just reads on a night-to-night basis. And, as we get a little deeper in the season, possibly could get a little bit more aggressive in that respect. And it might be necessary, but right now it's trying to get everybody comfortable, because we do need everybody to play and to find our true rotations as we get deeper in the season. And there's going to be a sense of urgency on that at some point.
Steph, you mentioned the margins several times here. Having played on those teams that had such a high basketball IQ for so long, how do you avoid not getting too frustrated, knowing that it's very obvious that a lot of guys don't seem to know exactly where to be all the time, and they're making these mental mistakes over and over again early in the year?
Mostly just understand there's patience to it, but I mean, we all were once in the young guy's shoes and understand that it is a process. And if you come with the right attitude and, we have a sense of accountability that we're not trying to make the same mistakes over and over again, that's when it gets frustrating, when you call certain things out and then we don't make the necessary adjustments. And, tonight was it was a good learning lesson for us that finished the third quarter and the group that started the fourth. Find a guy that's hot. You can, kind of force the issue in that respect. If you got a good matchup, slow things down, keep yourself in the game. And we talked about it in the locker room after the game, and everybody, nobody's getting hurt feelings or feeling, singled out. We're all trying to get better. So we can't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And we just have to come with the right intentions so that, at some point it all clicks. And then, 1 through 13, however many guys, out there on the floor understand exactly what we're trying to do. Because it's not ever going to be just a one-man show. You can't win like that in this league. So we got to be able to figure that out.